Discoverers. So today, you guys know, in our Zoom, we talked about backyard animals that we see all of the time in our trees. Sometimes we see them on the roads. And now we're going to figure out what these animals are distinctly by name, because I have a couple of cue cards here and we're going to place them on our board. We're specifically talking about backyard furry friends, okay? So these are our furry friend animals that we find in the backyard, sometimes in the front yard, in our neighbor's yard, and some of these are animals that we even have as pets, right? So we're gonna start out with this first one. This guy, who's that? A bear. And a bear's not often found in our backyard, right? At least we don't want it to be. But this guy can be in your backyard, especially if you live in wooded areas. So I'm gonna put him on his spot, which is right here. And in case you guys don't know, they have little names of those animals here. And so I'm just gonna match them for you guys because you guys aren't here to see it close up. And this next animal, who's that? A horse. Now, some people have their horses in the backyard because they're pets, but you don't see too many horses roaming around in your backyard all willy-nilly, right? But you do see them. And this horse has the letter of the week at the beginning. What letter is that? The letter H. Very good. So we're going to put him on the board. Where does he go? Oh, he goes right above the bear. And then we have this guy. We don't see these guys too often in the backyard, but you can find them too, or in wooded areas. Who's this, guys? Everyone say fox. Very good. So we're going to find out where the fox goes. He goes there. And then, what's this one? Who's that? He's waving at you. It's a squirrel. Very good. And we find these often, so often in our neighborhoods, and especially near our trees, right? Yeah, so we're going to put the squirrel right next to the bear, because that's his spot. And then we have this one. Who's that? He's laying on that piece of cheese. I wonder, is he going to eat it? Who's that? A mouse. Very good. And mouses are usually found also in our rural areas too. And if they sneak in our house, boy, is that scary. We don't want those in our house, right? So we're going to put the mouse up here. Where does he go? Okay, he goes here. And then, whoa, we have this guy. Do you guys know who that is? What word is that? Can you say opossum? Very good. Possums are usually found also in wooded areas or throughout the city, and they roam and on the sides of the road. Sometimes they get in your backyard. They can get in your trash can. Anywhere, and they're mostly looking for food. What about this next guy? Do you guys know who it is? He looks similar to some of our other friends, but do you know who he is? A chipmunk. Everyone say chipmunk. Very good. We're going to put him in his spot, which is the first one right there. And now this is a common animal. Sometimes we found them and they call them tomcats or bobcats or something like that. But some people have these as pets. Who's this? He's just a regular old cat. Isn't he cute? All right, so we're going to put him on his spot right there. And who's this guy? I know a lot of you guys probably saw something like this over the weekend. Who's that? A rabbit. Very good. Everyone say rabbit. Very good. We're going to place him right there. Right there. And who's this guy? He's being silly in his picture. Who's that? Can all of you say raccoon? Very good, raccoon. And we're going to put the raccoon right here next to the horse. So that's where he goes. And then we have another, this guy. Who's that? A deer. And sometimes we find deers on the side of the road. Sometimes they're in wooded areas as well. Or sometimes they can slip into our backyard. All right, I'm going to put the deer right here. And our last animal, we often have these as pets, but they can roam around and sometimes they get lost and they end up in your backyard and they're not even your pet. Who's this? A dog. Very good. So now we're going to place the dog right here. And now you guys have just discovered some of the most common animals that can be in your own backyard. The funny thing is, if you find any of these guys astray in your backyard and they're not your pet, most of the time they're looking for food, guys. Within their habitat and within their domain of living, they want to have food, they want to have water, and they want to have a place to sleep. And sometimes they look for your places to be their napping spot or their place to eat. Especially the squirrels, because the squirrels like your trees when you have acorns and they like to nibble on them and eat them up, right? So sometimes our trees help feed the animals like the squirrel. All right, that's it for today, Discoverers. I hope to see you guys really, really soon. I miss your faces. And that's it. Have a good day. Bye, Discoverers.